Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Monday, September 2, 2024. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC rolled out 270 buses for the official start of the new academic year this morning. Of those, 170 of them were new buses, 70 received last year, and 100 compressed natural gas units delivered recently.
So that's a significant improvement because most of the times before, there were always less new buses than used buses. So that is a very significant stride. And as you know, we're planning to bring another 100 in for next year this time, which will put us at 270 new buses, which is going to make a significant impact in the efficiency and the comfort that the commuters so deserve. And as I said before, we have refurbishing of 30 articulated buses to come on stream for January, plus another 16 buses to add to the 8 that we already refurbished for the hill routes, which is the Stony Hill interior areas and the Garden Town and interior areas.
The Minister of Transport gave the update as he travelled on one of the JUTC's new CNG buses this morning, along with Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Minister of Education Favour Williams. The government officials also greeted students and other commuters within the Halfway Tree Transport Centre. Minister Vaz says it was smooth running there, as well as at the Montego Bay Metro, where residents in Western Jamaica expressed happiness with the additional 12 buses sent there over the last 2 weeks.
So we will continue to monitor and continue to make unannounced stops at various points this week in preparation for the full rollout of back to school for next week, Monday.
While it was early hours yet, the Education Minister said the new academic year had gotten off to a good start.
So far this morning it has been smooth, early in the morning yet, but we haven't had any reports of issues.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government is looking to establish a dedicated bus service for Jamaica's children, particularly those in rural areas. He gave the commitment while riding on one of the JUTC's new CNG buses for this morning's start of school. Mr. Holness says the establishment of a dedicated bus service for children, along with the continued acquisition of new buses for the general service, is ultimately aimed at improving the quality of life for Jamaicans.
So today, little Chanel is going to school and she doesn't pay on public transportation. Other students get reduced fares, elderly get reduced fares. Now, if we are able to expand the service, then we will take in a greater pool of children going to school, a greater pool of persons who can get reduced fares, and therefore the cost of public transportation to them would be reduced. So that is what we're doing here. We're improving one of the major cost factors in living in Jamaica, which is public transportation, both from the quality of the service that you get, the reliability of the service that you get, and the cost of the service to you.
As part of this, he says the administration will also be addressing the general distribution of public buses to cover areas that are not presently served.
Meaning that there are some areas in Jamaica where there are no public buses, which could do very well with public buses. And so we're going to be looking at those areas as well.
The process to construct 6 science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM schools across the country is now in the financing stage. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the disclosure during the annual PEP Awards function for the children of staff of the offices of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. He says this is a national priority.
These schools will not be run under the current education system in terms of the Education Act in how those schools are going to be run. We will develop a new scheme of managing those schools because it is, for us, it is a strategically important program. We need to create very quickly, very rapidly, with guarantees, a generation of Jamaicans who are highly trained in STEM.
Mr. Holness says lands have already been identified and the process of investment assessment is now ongoing. Construction will begin with 1 school while securing funding until all 6 schools are built. Residents of St. Elizabeth whose homes were affected by Hurricane Beryl in July have been presented with cash grants to help with the rebuilding work. The beneficiaries were presented with their checks in a ceremony held last week. The funds are part of the government's Rebuild Jamaica program, and Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. is urging the residents to ensure they rebuild in a more resilient way.
It means use the hurricane strap them if a zinc you are put on. It means don't put the nail in the hurricane strap, put the screw, because the screw is going to make it stronger. It means where you're able to use another type of material, do so.
And finally, the Minister of Labour and Social Security is warning persons not to pay for hurricane relief supplies that are being freely provided to benefit them. He was speaking at the handing over ceremony of 10,000 hurricane straps to residents of Rocky Point in Clarendon and nearby areas recently.
Any resident that has to pay for that material and inform me, people will be locked up. I will make sure that a report is made to the authorities, because a country we are going to be judged on how we treat people who need the help the most. And at a time like this, when people need the help, anybody who think they're going to come in here and manipulate it and use it against the people, you have another thing coming. We're going to make sure that every single cent that is for the people of Rocky Point, Portland, and across Jamaica is spent on them.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.